Welcome back. It's time for a Triple Tag Tuesday. I hope you're ready for it. First, though, I want to tell you a little story. Back in October of 2020, when the world was dealing with shutdowns, huge issues from the pandemic, people being unsure about what was going to happen in the future, I was at home watching a lot of YouTube and thinking to myself, what is the scariest thing I could do this Halloween? Because Halloween was coming up for 2020, and for some reason, despite all the horribly scary things happening in the world, I told myself the scariest thing that I could do was to start a BookTube channel. That's right. This month for October is my birthday month for my BookTube channel. So excited. Thus, I'm gonna do the BookTube birthday tag. I was tagged by A-Star Reads. She's so much fun over there with her channel. I also saw Hey Y'all Listen Up. That was John at his channel do this video. The original is by Average Joe Reads. It's a really fun tag. At the end, it asks you to tag someone who has an anniversary coming up, and I'm not gonna bother doing that. You know when your BookTube anniversary is, so it's an open tag. Say that I tagged you. Oh, it's so much fun. Here we go. Prompt number 1. How many years on BookTube are you celebrating? It's 11 months for me. Almost 1 year. Prompt 2. What has kept you motivated to continue making videos? I swear, I know it sounds cliche, people say this stuff all the time, but really truly, the community interaction, you guys, the comments down in the video, the social media interaction on Bookstagram and Twitter, as well as right here. Prompt 3, what are 3 of your favorite videos you've made in the past year and why? Just off the top of my head, I'm gonna say I did a series one week. It was 3 days in a row. The Wizard of Oz, The Great Gatsby, and Fight Club. I talked about the similarities in themes and symbolism for those books, and that was a lot of fun. No one made any comment about it on the videos, but I spliced in images of Tyler Durden throughout all 3 videos. I expected someone would be like, hey, stop doing that. Why are you doing that? But maybe they know the first 2 rules of Fight Club, so they just kept their mouth shut. Who knows? And then for even extra bonus fun, something else that probably no one picked up on. But in the Fight Club video, I said, I hope no one shows up and injures me, beats me up, because I've been breaking the rules and talking about Fight Club. So the next day of that week, I put up for the thumbnail of my next video, me in a full body cast. Get it? I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if anyone else even noticed. Number 4, what have you struggled with on BookTube in the past year, and how did you overcome the struggle? The biggest struggle for me is when the subscriber count goes down. I still have trouble understanding the psychology of people unsubscribing to channels just because I never unsubscribe to channels. It doesn't cost any money. I don't get it, but whatever. It's people's preference. They can do whatever they want with their accounts. I understand that. I just tell myself to remember Aesop's fable, the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm not in a rush to have a whole bunch of subscribers. I'm just gonna do what I do and hope that you guys like it. Number 5, choose one moment from the past year on BookTube that you would love to relive. There have been so many. I can't pick just one. I suppose the announcement for We're Not Home, the book that's got my short story, The Ghost of Walt Whitman, in it, that was life-changing to me, having my short story published in a book. So thank you again, Cam Wolf, and all the people involved with the book. Here I am just shamelessly plugging it, but it is coming out this month. You can pre-order the ebook online. You can get the paper book. I think it's very exciting. Number 6, shout out a huge supporter of your channel. I'm gonna say Margaret Pinard. It's been a lot of fun interacting with her as an author. She's one of those people who not only comments on my videos, but often leaves multiple comments, which I think is pretty cool. We give each other shout outs all the time. I know she gave me a shout out on Instagram and on Twitter, so I really appreciate that. Number 7, what's the best book you've read in this past year? Spoilers, I'm having a super book battle at the end of the year. I've been determining every month my best read of the month, so we're not going to know the answer to that question until the very end of December, beginning of January. But stay tuned. I think it's really exciting. Number 8, where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? I've got to be real with you. I don't know. I don't know where this channel will be in a year. My goal was to build up a bunch of playlists with book recommendations in different subgenres, and I've done it. I'm really proud of myself. You can go to the playlist on my page. I've actually recently added more playlists and organized them together better, but I accomplished my goal. So I guess at the end of the calendar year, when everyone's talking about their reading goals and their writing goals and their channel goals, I'll have to come up with something. I'll be reflecting on it, I guess, this month, November and December. Number 9 is tagging people. As I said earlier, it's an open tag. That completes our first tag of today. Now let's do the BookTubing Reflections tag. It's a similar sort of concept. I was tagged by Rosie, and the original tag is by Mitch Ellis Life. I really don't know Mitch Ellis Life very well, but I know Rosie pretty well, and I appreciate that she tagged me. She's got a great channel. She used to have the color purple, not the book, but the actual color all over the place, and she has lessened the amount of purple in her video. Prompt number 1, how long have you been on BookTube now? I swear I just said this. This feels kind of like deja vu. 11 months. Number 2, how many books have you read since you joined? And if you can't pinpoint a number, is it more or less? I've bought a lot more books, more than ever. I'm sorry, that's the next question. Number 3 is how many books have you purchased since joining? Both reading and buying. It's more than ever before. In fact, I'm sure the credit card companies would like to thank you guys here on BookTube for helping me to spend more and more money on books. And of course, I fell into that trap of buying more books than I have had time to read, but I've been reading more than I've ever read before in my life. And I'll eventually, hopefully, get around to reading these other books. Number 4, how many new channels are you subscribed to? Hundreds. Like numbers 2 and 3, more than ever before. I get so excited when I find new booktubers and author tubers. I just want to subscribe to their channel, see what they have to say. Number 5, what videos do you like filming the most? If you're gonna force me to pick, I would say the book battles. They are fun. Coming up with criteria and thinking about 2 books that might be very different, what they have in common, and why I might have enjoyed reading one more than the other. It's some good critical thinking. Number 6, what struggles have you overcome? The biggest struggle in the last year was the Texas winter freeze with the rolling blackouts in which we didn't have power for days. I mean, they turned the power on for a few hours so that you wouldn't completely die, and then there'd be no more power, and then the next day you'd have electricity for a couple hours. Oh, it was awful. And I didn't post any videos for about 2 weeks, and there was one kind person who sent me a private message, and you know who you are, who helped me get out of my mental stupor as a result of that. Because every day I've been sitting there in the cold going, when the electricity comes back on, I'll post another video. Because I have a laptop with battery life, and I could record and edit. I just was sitting there in a stupor. Man, that was a tough one to recover from. Not only because of being physically cold, but thinking about the harsh reality of the world that we live in. But I don't want to get political, so we'll move on. What changes have you made to your channel? You know, I really don't feel like I've made a lot of changes yet. This month, I decided to cut back to where instead of making videos every day, I'm only making a few a week, and it is so much more relaxing. But I've got some news for you. There are some big changes coming, and that is that I like having this reduced schedule. But I've also got a plan for rebranding, coming up with new graphics. Number 7, what are some of your new goals for your channel? Again, I've got to reflect on that, but since I've been asked this over and over now, I do want to be more entertaining, not just informative in my videos, but I like when people leave comments that I've made them laugh, that I've added more joy and humor to their days. Everyone, if you are watching this video, I am tagging you right now. It's fun, and it doesn't have to be an anniversary to do this one. It just says reflections, so you can do it at any point. That's 2 tags down out of 3. Let's get to the 3rd tag for today. It's the Deja Vu tag. I was tagged by Ian at Out of This World Reader, and I don't have written down who the original is by, but I have a link right here, so all the links and information will be down below. The first prompt, do you reread and how often? I usually don't reread. The next question goes into more depth. Why do you or don't you reread? I will reread if it's for academic purposes. You know, if I'm looking to analyze something, then then I'll go back and read it a second time. Or if it's for a series, often for a series I will reread. What have been your favorite books to reread? I'm going to say plays. I feel that plays are made for rereading, for experiencing over and over again. What would I like to reread? Probably The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the Dragonlance books. What do you predict will be so good you'll want to reread it? I'm going to shamelessly plug the book We're Not Home. It's out this month. It's a horror anthology and it's got my short story, The Ghost of Walt Whitman, in it. I think that I've reread my story over and over and over and over, and what I've read of the book is really good, with the other author's stories as well. Pick a book from your younger years you think you'd be interested in rereading. My answer is The Princess Bride. The book is somewhat different from the movie, and it's got a lot of humor and scenes that are not in the movie, and it ends slightly differently, which is fun. Tell us a series or book that's so big or complex you need to reread to better understand. The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I tried reading those books probably too fast. I was really excited about getting through the series, and there are things that I can't remember. I need to go back in at some point, but I don't know when book 5 will come out, so it could be a long time from now. Is there a specific type of genre you think is best or worst for reread potential? I'm going to say fantasy. There are a lot of details that fantasy authors put into these worlds with their world building, a lot of complexity, a lot of mysteries and puzzles, to where sometimes you don't pick up on that on the first read. I think probably the worst to reread are nonfiction, with a book that's really just there to be informative, that you may not have fun rereading it because you already have all the information. Is there a book you've liked more upon a reread? Definitely. Dune is one that stands out to me. The first time I read Dune, a lot of the stuff was confusing. A lot of elements of that setting, because it's got politics, religion, economics, and it's an action-adventure story with different cultures clashing, the politics of the families, all that. It's a lot to take in on a first read. Is there a book you liked less upon a reread? Not yet, not that I can think of, but I am afraid that Dragonlance will end up being this answer in the future, just based off of what I've heard a few people say online. I know John at Hey Y'all Listen Up has talked about rereading the books, and they weren't necessarily as good as an adult, as they were as a kid or teenager reading them. And Joanna has talked about rereading books that she read as a child and revisiting them, how she doesn't always like them as much. And also that the group that did the online Dragonlance reading didn't necessarily enjoy them as much as adults, which is unfortunate. But I get it. The last one on here, if you reread, let us know a book you'd like to reread before the end of this year. I don't know if I'm really going to reread any this year with the time we have left, but if I did, it would probably be the Kingkiller Chronicles, because Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear have a lot going on. And I've got my own conspiracy theories predicting what book 3 is going to have in it, what's going to happen. But so do a lot of other people online. Go read some Reddit forums or watch some YouTube videos about it. At the end it says to tag your friends. You guys are my friends. Thank you so much for watching the video, for listening to me go on and on. I'm tagging all of you. Deja Vu tag, Deja Vu book tag. If you've not done this one yet, go ahead and do it. Even if it feels like it's very familiar, maybe it feels like a tag you've done before, you should probably go ahead and do it anyway. Probably just Deja Vu. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you again. I absolutely love this community. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.